Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. Okay, so let's just dive right in. In this booming world of artificial intelligence, one tech giant has been, well, let's just say suspiciously quiet. We're talking about Apple. While everyone else is racing to launch new features, Apple's AI strategy has felt kinda missing in action. But it turns out, behind the scenes, a really high-stakes plan is starting to come together.
I mean, you gotta love this quote from analyst Dan Ives. It just so vividly captures how Wall Street is feeling. He's not pulling any punches here, right? He's painting this picture of a company that isn't just a little behind. They're not even in the race. They're just spectators, casually sipping a coffee while the action screams past them.
And this really lays it all out, doesn't it? In the fast lane, you have the absolute titans of AI. OpenAI, Microsoft, Meta, Google, all pushing the limits. And then there's Apple on the park bench. The perception is that while everyone else is fighting for that top spot, Apple has barely even started its engine.
So, yeah, Apple on the sidelines. And look, the story here isn't just that they had a slow start. Some people out there are straight up calling it a disaster.
This, of course, leads to the billion-dollar question. How does a company that's famous for literally defining new product categories stage a comeback like this? What is Apple's actual plan to get back in the game?
Well, their answer seems to be what you could call a hardware Hail Mary. Instead of trying to go head-to-head with Google on massive language models, Apple is doubling down on what it does best: amazing hardware. The whole strategy is to create brand new devices for your home, things involving cameras and robotics that bring AI into the physical world, and, let's be honest, get you into an Apple store. And this comeback plan seems to have three key parts, all built to bring AI physically into your house. We're talking about a totally new product category with a tabletop robot, a beefed-up smart home hub, and, finally, a completely reimagined Siri from the ground up.
Now, the centerpiece of all this is apparently a tabletop robot. Just picture it. A virtual companion for your desk that uses a little robotic arm to move an iPad-like screen around. It's designed to be way more than a smart display. Word is, it can actually hold conversations and even interject, all while acting as the main hub for your video calls and smart home gadgets. And then there's Siri. The plan is to finally give Siri a visual personality. Sources are describing a virtual character that kind of floats on your screen, ready to help. Think Microsoft's old helper Clippy, but, actually smart and integrated into everything. This would be a massive change from the voice we've known for all these years. But, and this is a big but, the skepticism on Wall Street is still incredibly high. As Dan Ives puts it, pretty much nobody believes any real AI innovation is coming out of Apple for the iPhone. The feeling is that this hardware-first plan just isn't enough, and that unless they make a huge acquisition, Apple's just going to keep falling behind in the actual software race.
Okay, but for Apple's plan, or really for any company's AI plan to work, it needs an incredibly powerful foundation. This whole AI revolution requires a mind-boggling amount of physical infrastructure. So, you know the old saying? In a gold rush, sell picks and shovels. That brings us to who's really powering this AI race.
$1 billion. That's how much the networking giant Cisco recently reported in orders for AI-specific gear. It's just a massive number that shows you the unbelievable construction project happening behind the scenes to power every single AI tool we use.
See, Cisco's big advantage is that they're specialists. Their CEO pointed out they're one of only 3 companies on the planet making the specific networking silicon that these huge AI data centers need. And they're not just building for the usual suspects. They're also powering this new thing called sovereign AI, where entire countries like the UAE and Saudi Arabia are building their own national AI clouds. So we've got the hardware layer and the infrastructure layer. But the impact of AI goes even deeper. It's forcing us to completely rethink the internet itself from the ground up. And that leads us to our next section, building a whole new web just for AI.
Parag Agrawal, you might remember him as the former CEO of Twitter, has a new startup called Parallel Web Systems. And it's all based on this profound realization he had. The web that we've spent the last 30 years building is just not ready for its new #1 user.
So who is this new user? It's the AI agent. These are basically autonomous programs that use the web to do stuff for you. And Agrawal's big insight is that these agents are about to become the primary customer of the web. But our current internet, which was built for human eyes, is incredibly clunky and inefficient for them. And the difference is just stark. The human web is visual. It's designed for us to click around. This new agentic web needs to be built purely for machine access, organized around raw data retrieval.
So his company is literally building a parallel infrastructure so that AIs can access information and reason with it directly without all the fluff.
And we're not talking about a small tweak here. This is a foundational rebuild of the internet's most basic functions. It means reimagining how we crawl and index websites, creating ranking systems based on machine logic instead of human popularity, and building totally new interfaces for AIs to plug into.
So you see, the AI race isn't just one simple story. It's this multi-layered drama with all these different players. You've got the gambler, like Apple, making a huge, risky bet on hardware. You have the builder, like Cisco, laying the absolutely essential foundation. You have the futurist, like Agrawal, who's redrawing the map entirely. And of course, you still have the leaders, like OpenAI, who are driving the whole software conversation.
And all of this leaves us with one last, kind of provocative thought to chew on. As we start rebuilding our entire digital world to be more efficient for machines, what does that mean for us? I mean, really, if the web is being rebuilt for AI, who is it for anymore? If you enjoyed the episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.